The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Gracie stepped forward, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with varying expressions of curiosity, skepticism, and in some cases, barely concealed contempt. Counselor Zoaxtar, a towering Krellian with scales that shimmered like oil on water, leaned forward in his hovering throne. Ambassador, we have reviewed your planet's application for membership. Your species shows promise, but you understand the requirements. Every member world must contribute military forces to the collective defense fleet. Gracie nodded. We understand perfectly, Counselor. Then you comprehend our concern. Zawaxtar continued, his three eyes narrowing. Your preliminary biological scans are troubling. Your people possess no natural armor, no venom, no electromagnetic sensing capabilities. Your reaction times are mediocre. Your strength-to-mass ratio is unremarkable. He paused, mandibles clicking thoughtfully. Yet your application claims you can field defensive forces. We assume you have developed enhancement technologies, genetic modifications, neural augmentations. We have not, Gracie replied simply. A ripple of confusion spread through the chamber. The counselor's scales darkened to a deep crimson. Then how do you propose to contribute warriors to defend against threats like the Vexnari swarms or the Silicon Reavers? Before Gracie could respond, the chamber doors burst open. A human male strode in, wearing the simple gray uniform of Earth's delegation. Emmanuel moved with casual confidence, his face apologetic but unapologetic in his interruption. Forgive the intrusion, Counselor, Emmanuel said, bowing slightly. But I believe there's been a misunderstanding about humanity's capabilities. Zuayakstar's scales flashed with irritation. And you are? Emmanuel Chun, military liaison for Earth's delegation. He walked to stand beside Gracie, pulling out a small data tablet. With your permission, I'd like to clarify our position. The counselor gestured with a clawed appendage. Proceed. Emmanuel tapped his tablet, and a holographic display materialized above the council floor. You've assessed our baseline biology correctly. We're not the strongest, fastest, or most naturally armed species. But you've made an error in your threat assessment model. Impossible, hissed the SSLYTH representative, her serpentine body coiling defensively. Our models have predicted conflicts for 3 millennia without fail. Your models, Emmanuel continued calmly, are based on species with specific evolutionary advantages. The Krellians have their armored scales. The SSLYTH have their neurotoxin. The Vexnari have their hive coordination. He zoomed in on a section of data. But you've never encountered a species whose primary adaptation is adaptability itself. Gracie stepped forward, picking up the thread. Counselors, you asked about our enhanced warriors. The answer is simple. We don't have enhanced warriors. We have 8 billion regular humans, and every single one of them is more dangerous than you understand. Preposterous. Zuayakstar's scales were now cycling through colors rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. Your species can barely survive in environments beyond your homeworld's narrow parameters. That's what your data says, Emmanuel agreed. But let me show you what your data doesn't capture. He pulled up footage from Earth's history. This is footage from what we call the Arctic Research Station incident, 70 years ago. The hologram showed a barren, frozen landscape, a small research station. Then, suddenly, equipment failure. The temperature gauge plummeted to minus 60 degrees Celsius. The Vexnari tested this environment on their own drones, Emmanuel narrated. 93% failure rate within 1 hour. The Silicon Reavers? Complete shutdown in 40 minutes. Our researchers. The footage showed humans, bundled in makeshift insulation, jury-rigging heating systems from salvaged parts. They survived for 3 weeks until rescue arrived. All 12 of them. Not through technology, through sheer stubborn refusal to die. A single anecdote proves nothing, the SSLYTH representative hissed. Gracie smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Then let's talk statistics. Counselor, on Earth, we have a saying, humans are space orcs. Do you know why? She didn't wait for an answer. Your species requires specific atmospheric compositions, temperature ranges, gravitational constants. You've evolved for your perfect niches. We evolved in chaos. The hologram shifted, showing Earth's diverse environments. Deserts that would dehydrate a Krellian in hours. Mountains with air too thin for SSLYTH lungs. Underwater caves. Volcanic regions. Frozen tundras. Radioactive zones. Humans, Emmanuel continued, live in all of them. Thrive in all of them. Not because we're enhanced, but because we're the universe's generalists. We don't have one survival strategy. We have 10,000. And when those fail, we invent number 10,001. ZYXTAR was silent for a long moment. Finally, he spoke. Even if this resilience is true, resilience alone does not make warriors. Combat requires aggression, coordination, tactical thinking. We hunted megafauna to extinction with pointed sticks, Gracie interrupted flatly. We domesticated wolves, apex predators, into companions. We split the atom and then built weapons with it. We've fought wars continuously throughout our entire recorded history. Her voice hardened. Not because we're violent by nature, but because we're survivors. And sometimes, survival means fighting. Emmanuel pulled up another display. You want to know about our regular humans, counselor? Let me tell you about Sergeant Yuki Tanaka, age 52, a grandmother. During a Vexnari Scout probe's unauthorized scan of Earth, she disabled their harvester drone with a farming tool and her husband's vintage rifle. Or Lieutenant James Okonkwo, who held a damaged space station's hull breach closed with his bare hands for 17 minutes while his crew evacuated, despite the temperature dropping to near absolute zero. These are your elite soldiers? The SSLYTH asked, genuinely confused. No, Gracie said softly. These are regular people. A farmer. A maintenance worker. That's what you don't understand about humans. We don't have a warrior caste. We have 8 billion individuals who, when pushed, when their families or their homes or their species is threatened, become warriors. The chamber was utterly silent now. Emmanuel closed his tablet. You asked if we have enhanced warriors, counselor. The answer is no. What we have is far more dangerous. Baseline humans with the capacity to adapt, endure, and overcome anything the universe throws at them. You want to know if we can contribute to the collective defense fleet. Gracie's expression was calm, but her eyes blazed with certainty. Counselor, if the Vexnari swarms come for any world under this council's protection, we won't send our enhanced warriors. We'll send teachers who've learned combat tactics to protect their students. Engineers who can turn mining equipment into artillery. Doctors who understand biology well enough to create countermeasures against bioweapons. Parents who will fight with everything they have because that's what humans do. She paused, letting her words sink in. We are not the strongest species. We are not the fastest or the most naturally armed. But we are the species that looked at the stars, despite having no wings, no natural space adaptation, and no reason to believe we could reach them. And we did it anyway. We broke our own world trying, learned from it, and kept going. Emmanuel nodded. So yes, counselor, we can contribute warriors. 8 billion of them. All regular humans. All equally dangerous when they need to be. Counselor ZYXTAR stared at the two humans for a long moment. His scales slowly shifted to a deep, respectful purple. A color Gracie had learned indicated thoughtful reconsideration. Earth's application, he said finally, is approved. Welcome to the Galactic Council, Ambassador. I suspect the universe has no idea what it's in for. As they left the chamber, Emmanuel leaned close to Gracie and whispered, Think they believed us? Gracie smiled. They will. The first time they see humans fight, they'll understand. We're not special because we're enhanced. We're special because we refuse to accept that we can't be. Behind them, the council erupted into heated debate. But neither human looked back. They had a galaxy to explore, and 8 billion regular humans ready to prove that sometimes, baseline was more than enough.